Back with us on the Sportsmax zone, Kevin Durant scored 32 points for our Brooklyn Nets team that showed off its awesome offensive prowess on Wednesday night in a 117-108 win over Atlanta Hawks. The Nets at one point threatened to shoot the lights out inside the arena, knocking down 22 three-pointers. Their franchise best was the 27 threes they knocked down in February against the Kings last season.
Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks in Brooklyn to take on James Harden and the Nets. Harden with the steal in the first, headed the other way. And the alley-oop to Bruce Brown. Harden had 8 assists in the first half. Brown had 10 points in the game. Kevin Durant getting it done inside. KD with 12 points in the first quarter alone. Then Trae to DeAndre Hunter for 3. He had 17 points in the first half. KD to Joe Harris for 3. He finished with 18 and 6 as the Nets would lead the way by 2 at the half, 61-59. Hunter driving, throwing it down, plus the foul on this one. He had 26 points in the game. Then the ball movement by the Nets ended up in KD's hands. He'd knocked down the 3. Then with the time winding down in the third, he, knocked down yet another one. He had 32 and 7 in the game. Harden getting the 3 to go plus the foul, and he'd make that free throw. He'd finish with 16 points and 11 assists as the Nets pull away to win at 117-108.
Get cracking. Even more people now consider KD to be the best player in the league, and he had this to say after the game.
Experience, just seeing what lineups work with what players, what sets work with, each lineup. I think that's really what it is, and you need to play games to understand that. So we knew it was going to be a process for us. I'm glad we was able to figure some stuff out the last few games and get back on the right page. And we know it's going to be even tough on the road, but we just got to keep grinding, man. I keep saying the same thing. Regular season is all about preparing you for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's Kevin Durant. Meanwhile, the 76ers are in the groove right now, as despite the absence of Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Danny Green, not much of a miss, they beat Chicago Bulls 103-98 for their 4th straight win. Seth Curry leading the Sixers there with 22 points. All right, let's get to the fact of, this is DeMar DeRozan. The Bulls have been very, very hot in recent time, and they appeared on course to continue their hot streak. But they ran into a 76ers team for which the other Curry, can we say the lesser Curry? We don't need to be unkind. The other Curry.
Curry, Diwali Curry.
But you wouldn't be incorrect, George, so.
I wouldn't be incorrect.
No.
But you know what's funny? You wouldn't say that, though. You know that.
Why not? Why wouldn't I say?
You wouldn't say that because.
But you would though.
Well, but he just did. He just did live.
No, but he said it and apologized for it. He said it and apologized for it. Well, so he took it back.
Yeah.
But he is the lesser of the two. Come on.
Yeah, the Curry, he was cooking like Mariah's Curry. And on the point of Mariah's cooking,
I'm the Steph Curry cooking, right?
Yeah, of course.
Good.
Mariah can really cook viewers. She really has some skills where that is concerned. Before we go to the scores from Wednesday, there's a video making the rounds that shows New Orleans Pelicans star Zion Williamson looking rather chubby. On the official NBA website, Williamson is listed at 284 pounds. But from this, he seems to have been eating at the same place that James Harden was eating at entering the last season, when he came back looking rather pudgy. Now, given his history with knee injuries, do you think Zion's rehab should be more concerned with getting him to lose weight?
So you see, where weight is concerned for me, I'm always very careful, because there are a lot of people that I know personally who they genuinely want to lose the weight, George and Lance, but it's difficult because, sometimes it's how your physical makeup is and whatnot. But where Zion is concerned...
We're talking about a professional athlete.
I know, and that's where I'm going. But listen, I'm being very sensitive. It's the one...
But we're talking about professional athletes. You don't have to be sensitive to professional
Okay, so... That said, I was going to say, but as a sportsman, somebody who actually was being discussed as being the face of the NBA and whatnot, and somebody who struggles with knee injuries.
Tell me the weight of the NBA.
Somebody who struggles with knee issues and whatnot, it's something to really consider, because that just shortens his career, the lifespan of his career. And I mean, we know how these athletes' career span is short, especially because of injuries and whatnot. I think he makes himself more prone to that. And you're laughing, so maybe you can tell me what you're thinking.
All I'm saying is that I think he'll be much more sleek by the time he's ready. It's just like sprinters. When we were on campus at UTEC, early in the campaign, a Safa Paul would be like this when you saw him. And then as competition started, he'd get into his sleek form.
But you've seen that from Zion?
Huh?
Have you ever seen
well,
that?
He can't play in basketball. You made the points which support why he can't play basketball that size.
Yeah. You made a reference to James Harden just now when he was a little bit over. I would suggest that he looks more like James Buster Douglas after he defeated Mike Tyson and ballooned up to 300 pounds.
Yeah, he looked like an ogre. Anyway, it's time for Interactive, they say. We're not getting ourselves in any more trouble with the fat jokes.
Thanks. Well, we're nearing the end of today's show. Follow us on Twitter at Sportsmax Zone and YouTube at Sportsmax TV. It's time for Interactive. Well, the West Indies, they were eliminated from the T20 World Cup earlier today after losing to Sri Lanka by 20 runs. We asked the question, how would you rate their performance so far in the tournament? You answered.
Sportsmax, Wagwan.
Wow.
Lance, George, Mariah. West Indies. They don't surprise me at all. What do you mean, sir? Me hope Chris Gray could apologize to Ambi. You know? And me could tell him to his face. Easy.
Well,
short and sweet. Josimar. Haven't heard from him in a long time.
But I keep saying, he's a Manchester United fan.
Yeah.
And no title since 2013.
So he's been in the hiding.
No major title since 2013.
No title since 2013. What we won since 2013 doesn't count.
Okay. Yeah. You said it, George.
Europa League and League Cup.
I want to hear from the viewers.
For sure.
Please.
For sure.
Next.
For sure.
Satisfied with that performance. Not only the players, the team management, inclusive of Simo and everybody else around the squad, and the selectors. Totally dissatisfied with it. Totally dissatisfied. Half the blood young players into this team, but yet we went on a Chris Gayle retirement tour of some sort with some of these other players. Really dissatisfied.
My thing is, I had no issues with whatever they decided to select. I was willing to let everything go and just let the performances do the talking, and even so, that was too much to ask for. Let's take this next one.
Kamala Miller from Portmore, Jamaica. West Indies exiting from the T20 World Cup is very disappointing. But to be honest, they, on paper, very good, but I didn't see them performing as well, especially with the selection. Poor selection first most, and as we had discussed before, in the latter part now Jason will show his worth, but just disappointed by the lack of performance with most of the team, well, all the team.
Yeah, pretty much.
As he said, on paper it isn't a bad team, but Fazir kept mentioning earlier on in the show that based on the age of a lot of the players, this on paper was a good team maybe 5 years ago, but a lot of the players in the current team aren't the force of yesteryear, so that was part of the problem, it seems.
My thing is the embarrassment that we face going into this tournament as defending champions. If this doesn't teach us anything and we don't go up from here, then maybe that's it for West Indies cricket. I don't know.
Happy Diwali.
Thank you.
Happy Diwali.
Aww. Thanks, guys.